What's wrong with him?
His girl just broke it off.
It's her father. He doesn't want her dating a zombie.
Why? What are they, demons?
She is predeceased.
An outsider?
Man, you're asking for trouble.
She broke my heart.
You're a zombie. Technically, you don't even have a heart.
After all of the great cinema that we brought to the world, and we still get no respect.
I don't know why he doesn't like me. I'm responsible, a full-time job.
You work at a haunted house in October.
I'm trying to be healthy. She's a vegan, so...
Wait, you're giving up meat?
Oh, come on.
What are you gonna do? Attack a farmer's market to try to impress her?
Now, if he was a vampire, you'd have a much better chance with her dad.
Yeah, those pretty bastards.
I didn't think this would be that hard.
Hard? Man, I'm a zombie and I'm black.
Oh, here we go.
I blame the educational system.
I blame the media.
I blame George Romero.
Oh. How could you be so disrespectful?
Coffee?
Zombies don't know much, but they do know good coffee. Deadly Grounds. It's coffee to die for, and zombie approved.
Who's George Romero?
Just have some coffee.
Hey everybody, happy Thursday and welcome to another episode of Kari's Crowdfunding Corner Creator Spotlight. Tonight I have the folks from NEWPAINPRO over. I have Keith Champagne, Rich Stahnke, and Rich Miller. And, pardon me, and I'm drinking some punch because we're going over Punch issue 1 through 3 on BackerKit as well as the Jerry Ordway Double Feature over on Kickstarter. So, without further ado, hey guys, how are you doing?
Hello, world.
Hello?
Great.
You're okay? You're hanging out. You're like, well, I'm here. I've got the squirrel talking to me. It's going to be fun. So,
I have a wrench as my emotional support object.
That's probably a little bit, ooh.
And Rich can't show his, but he uses his penis for his emotional support.
I keep it inside this TARDIS because it's bigger on the inside.
Nice.
That's what she said.
All right. So, guys, I want to talk a little bit because I've never had you on. Let's talk a little bit real quick about NEWPAINPRO. Because like Keith, I've talked to you in interviews and stuff, but what is the whole shebang? What have you guys got going on here so that people that are watching can understand why we're doing these different projects and how you're involved besides being the plucky mascot, sir?
Well, honestly, Rich Stahnke pretty much runs the show now, so I'll just turn it over to him.
I'm the guy behind the curtain. Yeah.
Oh. So what is the mission behind NEWPAINPRO? And
well, Keith is actually going to have to answer that. He's being facetious because he is NEWPAINPRO, and all the rest of the satellites.
I think Rich Miller is actually the one in charge of NEWPAINPRO now.
I think of myself as Old Pain Pro, but you know.
No, I mean NEWPAINPRO is it's our publishing imprint. Legally, it's under my name. It's Keith Champagne LLC doing business as NEWPAINPRO. I consider Rich Stahnke a partner. I consider Tom Nguyen a partner. Tom and I started it together, but I just handled the legal aspects of it. And I've been putting out books on Kickstarter consistently, between 4 to 6 campaigns a year. We're coming up on our 5th year in January. Put out a lot of books I'm really proud of. One book I wish that I had not messed around with. and we're continuing to grow. Like these campaigns are seeing more momentum as we go. Not every campaign, some of them that I think are going to do well, barely squeak by, and some that I think are going to squeak by end up doing a little better than I thought. And then stuff like the Jerry Ordway or the Rick Leonardi campaigns, obviously those are bigger name creators. Those tend to, do really well. So we're just, we're growing slowly but surely. And for me, it's an opportunity to do the books that I want to do after spending 30 years doing books I really didn't care to do. But not that I'm begrudging making a living for Marvel and DC, but I was never really creatively happy doing a lot of that stuff. And also work with my friends. Like the unofficial slogan for New Pain is "No assholes allowed," and I break it for myself. But it's a great to be able to just work with people that I really like, people that I enjoy collaborating with, and hopefully they like working with me also, and it just continues to keep growing, becoming more and more of an imprint.
Awesome. And you have all of these creator-owned coming out. You have Punch, Jump. Is Daybreak also part of it? It's part of New Pain, right?
Yeah, Daybreak's kind of our flagship title. It's been of the creator-owned books that we've done. Daybreak has been the most popular, and I've written more Daybreak. I'm just waiting on Stefan, the artist, to have time to draw it. But
Very
that's
awesome.
I would do forever. Like I would just tell Daybreak stories forever if I can.
And I was talking with Rich about this beforehand. I had been confused for a little while because although I'm doing all the crowdfunding stuff, you can only do one campaign at a time when you're on Kickstarter. Is that
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. And it seems like, and I've tried to tighten the window as much as I can on these campaigns, but it's really not possible to do a campaign more than every 3 months.
okay?
I have been able to launch new campaigns after another campaign has ended, but it hasn't been fulfilled yet. And I don't really like doing that, but sometimes things bump into one another in terms of scheduling. But even if you could run 2 campaigns at the same time, I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. I want to always make sure that the backers have their books and their rewards before I try to take more money out of their pockets. But there are alternative crowdfunding platforms, and we started to use backer kits crowdfunding a bit here and there, which is what Punch is on right now. As a way, and then I do a lot of double feature or 2-in-1 campaigns, just as a way to get more books going, in 1 year.
Yeah, that's why I'd ask because I was like, you do a backer kit at the same time as you're doing a Kickstarter, and then you have the like incentive often to back both and get something extra out of them, and I do love that. Um, it well, because I send you all my money because
Thank
I'm
you.
like
Thank you.
I'm like, oh, he's doing something. You shall get some money, sir. Here you go. I totally confused him, guys, because I ended up getting 2 of the Masters of the Universe things because one was for fun, and he was just like, "Why would somebody buy 2 of those?"
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
would confuse
"Because,
me though. But thank you.
because, yeah, because Jeremy's a big one too." And I was like showing off my Skeletor, and he's so you can get some really fun stuff, guys, if you go and follow a lot of Keith's stuff. What he puts up is very fun, and the extras you keep doing that too on the backer kit. You add new things as it gets further along. Sometimes I've noticed.
Yeah, we try to have surprises in every campaign, or ancillary items that are that are only available to the backers that have jumped on the campaign. Something exclusive for the backers. It's just it gives us something else to promote, and it helps us to keep the energy up for the campaigns because sometimes they really drag by. So you want to always have something new going on as much as you can.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up and let everybody see. Wait, nope, wrong one. Well, okay. Actually, first, guys, we're gonna go and I'm gonna show you the Punch campaign in a second. But first, I want to give everybody a quick view of the first issue of Punch, not the whole thing, just like a few pages. But if you want to describe kind of how this idea came into being and the different characters as we look through it real quick, and then we'll go and actually look at the campaign over on Backer Kit. So, get this up.
Okay. Well, while you're pulling that up there, the title Punch is an acronym for, it's our basic, Keith and I, it's our ode to the 80s comics, the teen comics like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and all the other imitators that came after that, like adolescent black belt hamsters, biker mice from Mars, and so on and so forth. People were collecting back then, though there was a slew of comics that came out in the wake of the Turtles' success. So we brainstormed and wanted to do our own version of that, and P.U.N.C.H is an acronym that stands for Pubescent Undercover Neuro-Diverse Cryptid Hunters. And after coming up with the title, we spitballed ideas back and forth, Keith and I, and then Keith took some weird suggestions I made, and then he formed them into a cohesive story and something that actually makes sense. And so the team is made up of different anthropomorphic animals. There's a nice team shot there on the right hand side there with them jumping out of the plane, and they've all got names that are just happen to be foods. That's Keith's quirk that he threw in there. And they all have sort of a personality trait or something that's unique about them. OCD, autism spectrum, depression, Tourette's, split personality. That's the neurodiverse part of the team. But they travel the world going after different cryptids. Those first few pages there, you can see an alien, you can see Krampus, Chupacabra is on there, the Jersey Devil. And then the big bad guy for the whole series is they're trying to find, locate, and go after Bigfoot. He's the evil mastermind who's pulling the strings of different cryptozoological creatures all around the globe.
And they have a fun time doing it, I've noticed. I love the comic so far, and guys, this is one you definitely want to invest in. The third is the final issue in this arc, right?
Yes.
It says it's going to be okay. So you
Yeah.
can go on right now and pick up 1 through 3 and have all of it, and it's so much fun following these critters around, watching how they fight things, watching how they go through everything, and just how they react. It doesn't make fun of mental health or people who are neurodivergent. It just has a definite feel for, you can tell what each one has.
Mhm.
And like they have a group therapist that goes in with them. So that's really fun as well. And that's something I really love about it. It's just like, oh, nope, the therapist is here. We need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Keith and I had at least a brief discussion about that. Like Keith, I know, was pretty adamant. We did not want to make fun of people who are neurodiverse. We wanted to sort of embrace that and make that part of the, developing the personalities of the characters. There are jokes, but it's not at anybody's expense that I can think of anywhere in the story.
And in some cases, it's their strength, like sushi/kibble. It like makes them a stronger character because of it, I think. So I'm gonna pull up. Here is the backer kit, and the links, by the way, folks, are up above or down below, depending on where you're watching from. You can get linked to see this. I need to pull it up right here, and then we can go through. You're fully funded, so that is awesome. And there's still 8 days left, so we can do this. Get some more things. We want to have more. But here's what we offer some covers with. And Keith, sorry, I love yours. I always love Keith covers, and no offense to you, Rich. I
No,
love all the
thank
covers.
you. It's a great cover.
It's just like I love Marshmallow. I think he's my favorite. So
That's
This
Rich
is Rich
Miller's
Miller's
cover.
his kick-ass cover.
Yeah.
and the Winnie the Pooh head, guys. When you get to Winnie the Pooh, oh my God, you're just gonna die. So here's the kickoff where everybody introduces themselves and explains what's going on. Kibble Sushi is woof, which is pretty fun. And here's Tom's cover.
Yeah, a mystery character that no one has met yet in terms of the people that have been reading the book. This is a new character that comes in the third issue. She has very large feet, which might be a clue as to who she might be.
Oh,
But we'll have to wait and find out for sure.
she's a bit fuzzy as well, I've noticed.
Yeah,
So
she could use a shave. But who
I mean,
could?
I could do so, But yeah, here are a couple of the pages for everybody to check out. Um, Lesson bother. The whole time is he in my head? Is he speaking like Winnie the Pooh?
To
Like
me,
in that?
his voice is the Disney Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, yeah. That's what it was for me. I was just like, okay, it's in my head, and I'm like, I can't get rid of it. And he's in some of it, he's threatening people and just being a real asshole. But it's like it's all in Winnie the Pooh's voices. So yay! It's fun and super creepy. I'm gonna go through this real quick and just cover the pledge levels. You can get the digital for $8, but you should really go ahead and spend the extra $4 to get the ultimate digital, which is something I love that you guys do. And I always point this out on any Kickstarter or crowdfunding project of any different variety. Having the story and the script, as well as any other extras that you want to throw in, is always worth it. I love scripts. You know this. I've had you sign scripts of yours before. It just makes everything so much more fun. So if you're getting just a single copy, get the $12 Ultimate Digital added as well because it's got all the extra stuff that you want to see behind the scenes, how it came about, and the way that Keith writes for his artists is hysterical. It's just so much fun because you guys are also in each other's heads that it's just a really good time to see what you're coming up with. Um, as you can see, there's the different covers going up, and Tom's is worth 20 instead of just 15.
Yeah, he's a diva.
But he's he's getting the extras. So we can also get the shirt, and is the shirt just the shirt, or is that
Yeah, the shirt, and then you had to add on the book on the next screen.
okay? And then here you're gonna get all of the covers, and here Rich will do a remark for you
I
and
will.
draw any one of the characters, and for $50, man. $50 is all you got to spend on that, and you get a whole cover for yourself.
That's a
Um,
steal.
it is.
Rich is not
I've
a
been
diva.
lucky.
I said Rich Stahnke is not a diva, unlike
Oh,
Tom.
unlike Tom. Damn it, Tom. Or well, for 250, which is also incredibly reasonable. There's zero remaining. Somebody already got it. Damn it. Well, that explains how much I'm not going to be spending. Um, for
You get
$250, you could have gotten his original cover art for issue 3, but not anymore. I don't. I don't show myself on the pledges so that people can't see how much I'm spending because it's ridiculous. Um, I'm looking at a stack of like 3 feet on my sofa of crowdfunding projects that I have yet to stash away because I need to get some new short boxes, put them all in. But all right, so here you can still get Tom's, which again he has to put it up a little bit. He's $300 instead of the nice little 250 there. Retailer tier you get 10 with the main cover edition at a 50% discount, guys. And the new Pain Digital is going to get everything. So what all is included in the new Pain universe? It says from Cuda number 1 to Punch number 3, everything in between. How many different comics is
oh God.
involved there? Do
I
you have
don't even,
a
I
count?
don't even know anymore, but it's well over probably over 1,000 pages of comics that we published. So, and I think that's a great price for so much content.
Yeah, you've got two
Oh
or
yeah,
three graphic novels in there, right? Miniseries, graphic novels, one
Yeah,
shot.
it's got a lot of stuff.
very cool. And everything you guys do is very within a price range that people can afford to get it. I I love that you're doing the $50 remark because that's just great. You're probably going to be getting one from me, so
Okay.
just just giving you a heads up ahead of time.
Gladly do
Uh,
it.
are you looking at possibly throwing in any more twists and turns in this one as we get further along? So every now and then
There
it'll
could
be like,
be
I was going through my basement and I found I had an extra couple copies of this and thought I'd throw it out.
there could be some surprises coming up in the last week.
Okay.
I
So
can't deny that. Hey, Richie, I'm going to
Yeah.
just divert this conversation for a second. You see behind me the Shogun Warrior on my shelf?
I spotted him. Yeah.
Do you remember that was back in our art school days? He was always in wherever we moved to. Rich and I were roommates at the art school, so he the Shogun Warrior came with us everywhere.
Oh, very nice. And yeah, that's one of the full size ones, right?
Yeah, I've had that since I was 7.
Nice. I had Ray Dean. Sadly, I do not have him any longer.
Ray Dean was a cool one too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to
Nice.
get that out of the system.
Hey, so quick question. It looked like maybe the last tier had my cover on it. Is that correct?
oh, did I? Yes, hold on. I thought it's the featured is the Rich Miller cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gave you the spotlight, and also because your cover was added last,
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
it becomes the last reward. But
Okay.
but it's featured, so people
I'm
know.
sorry.
Cool.
It's featured as the last one. I thought because it was featured, it might have been up earlier. But yeah, that is. You have a sweet cover too. You guys all do great cover work. I'm just addicted to Keith. He's my bestie.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Keith earlier today that his cover was my favorite. So.
Well, your cover is my favorite, Rich. Which Rich I'm not going to say.
Look, I think we've sold most of Keith. Your cover is sold the most, if I'm not mistaken. Right? More people.
Well,
have
it's my
actually
fucking
covered.
company, so it better.
Well, it is a cool cover. You stole basically an idea I think I was going towards, and then you turned your cover in and showed it to me. I was like, "Oh crap, he did what I was thinking."
Yeah, I remember you mentioning to me at Heroes Con last year, Rich, that the image you had for the cover number 3, and so I just stole it and did it before you could.
That's why I can't share ideas with him.
Rich, where's the inspiration for your cover come from, my friend?
So that was inspired by the very first comic I ever bought. And it was Rom the Space Knight. The cover was drawn by Michael Golden. And I remember that was also the first time that I realized that like the interiors didn't always match the covers. But yeah, I found the cover like so stunning that I was just like, oh, for the first time I had like $2 to my name or something. So it's the first time I bought a comic with my money, and it's very much inspired by that Rom the Space Knight cover, and it's issue number 9 if anyone wants to Google it, but the color palette and kind of general layout is all inspired by that cover.
And the dying Winnie the Pooh, which I love.
Now, Rich likes doing the homage covers apparently, because this is his cover number 1.
Okay, let me pull that.
Yeah, real subtle homage there.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you got that from.
Rich, do you want to tell the story of like where you were at in life when you were drawing that cover?
So, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with cancer, and then had a flare up of something called diverticulitis, and they had to remove a whole bunch of my intestines and some other stuff, and I was laid up in the hospital, and Keith reached out to check on me and asked if I'd like to do a cover for Punch, and I was happy to do it because it like helped take my mind off of things. And now a few years later, I'm in a much different place. I've got a treatment that is working on the cancer, and I think I'm through all my surgeries, and now we're on to Punch issue number 3. So kind of comes full circle.
I'm glad things are better.
Yeah, no, Rich's cover for Punch number 1, he sent it to me on different pieces of paper.
Yeah, I drew it on scraps of paper.
It was like cell phone pictures
in the ER.
of different pictures of paper that I pieced together in Photoshop, and then inked the cover for him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's had a crazy ride in terms of his health. Like at one point, Rich, I hope you don't mind my saying this,
No, it's all right.
but like Rich was given like a year to live,
Yeah.
and then they discovered this therapy for his cancer, and it's really done the job. And now as long as he continues on this therapy, he's good. I think he's going to have a good long life.
Yeah, it's looking that way. So, but it's crazy. I'm on a drug called Keytruda, which has allowed my body to fight the cancer off, or is allowing my body to fight the cancer. Whereas like all the chemo and radiation, all that stuff they put me through, none of it was working. So gotta love science.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
Absolutely. I'm so happy that you're better. Well, as better as you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
How
at
do you?
least
I don't know exactly how you phrase that, but
I no, but yeah, not to jinx things. I'm knocking on wood that my treatment continues to work, and yeah, I can keep drawing covers for Punch. So
you look great. So that's
Sure.
good.
thank you. Yeah, I lost my hair twice, and it keeps fighting its way back. So
You've got nice hair. I've got the thick. I have to pull it down. Keith's seen me with it, just like I'm, especially in Nebraska when it's humid. It's just like my hair explodes. But I've tamed it with braids now that I have a hat that doesn't make me look weird. I
nice.
don't know.
Well, Keith will attest that back in art school they used to call me broccoli because I was all skinny and had a big head of hair. So,
To do the fro, rocking it.
oh yeah.
Oh, epic! Like his hair would be like 3 feet high sometimes.
I get that. Mine will go if I'm walking with it down. It'll like it turns corners before I do when it's windy. I can't see anything. My mom's taking pictures. We were on a charter flight, and I went to go stand, and they were like taking tickets at the entry to the airplane, and I didn't have my hair pulled up like I usually do for it, and my hair just shot up, and it was like over the door of the airplane, just fanning across the plane, and there were like people behind us in line, like don't move, taking pictures of me standing there with my hair covering the airplane side. It gets weird. So
The same thing happened to me. Yeah.
it happens to you often?
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
Every time you fly, doesn't it?
Your chest hair, right?
Well, and Keith over here with his nice little like, I rub my fingers through it. I'm looking
Yeah, I
nice.
don't know. It's more gray by the day, but at least I still have some.
You still have it.
Okay, so here's the thing about Keith, and I told him about this, but I'm segueing because that's what I do because I'm having fun with you guys. Um, I was showing my mother all of the people in comics that I have a decent enough like I can talk to them relationship, and like hang out, speak a little bit or whatever. And I'm showing her all these people, and she apparently decides it's time to figure out who I'm supposed to date that I know in the comics world. I'm like they're all married, or with somebody for 10 years as a partner, or something like that. So I'm showing her this person and that person, and I'm not going to go into the person that she decided I should be with, except that they're older than she is, and I'm okay with that. Like he's 74, he's great, love the guy to death, would totally date him if he wasn't married.
His name rhymes with Boward Bacon, by the way.
Yeah, it does. But I show her a picture of Keith, and I'm like, he's the one who I play cribbage with, and she's like, he is far too young for you. Quit even looking at that one. I'm like, he's actually a couple of years older than me, but I will be sure to let him know. But she was just like, that man is way too young. You just you need to make sure you don't. I'm like, he's a couple of years older than me. He's married. It's all good. And then the same like week we were staying at a casino because she gets all these free trips, so I go with her. And I got aggressively carded. Like it wasn't one of those flattering like, "Oh, ma'am, can I see your ID?" when they're trying to be nice. It was, "Stop! Wait! Come back here. I need to see your ID." And I was like, "I'm 50. Here you go. Thank you so much. Here's a tip."
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're what, the 14th most handsome man in comics, I believe you list yourself
12th.
as.
I'm
You're
12th
12th
now.
now.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
well, John
moving up.
Castle passed away, unfortunately, but it was good for my ranking. I moved up 2 spots because he was so handsome. He was number 1 and 2.
Wow.
Damn. I'll have to update my little notepad and be like, he is now the 12th, and he is also far too young for me. I need to date 74-year-olds, apparently, but none of them are single. That's the problem. I don't know. I'm like, I am the only single person that I know
In
that
the you're
associates,
the only single person.
like, as far as like hanging out with the different people in comics and on the podcasting thing and everything else. Like everybody I know is in a long-term engagement or marriage or some sort of relationship, and I'm just like, okay, I'll just hang out and let my mom tell me who I'm supposed to date, even though they're older than her and married. And yeah, we'll just live my life this way.
Hey, whatever, that's what moms are for, right?
Yeah, but I'll still like play cribbage with you. That's allowed. I can totally play cribbage.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. And you're one of the few people that have beat me at cribbage. Um, I think I'm gonna start like a comic book convention cribbage club. Because I played cribbage about a month ago with Paul Pelletier up in Albany. He beat me 2 games out of 3, and I almost never ever lose at cribbage. So to lose 2 games out of 3, I was, there's some real talent in the cribbage world in this comic industry. I think it's time we organize.
I would be all over that. Your face when we were playing, I was because he's just like, I'm a king of cribbage. I haven't been beaten in some years. I'm like, yeah. And there was just this like,
I didn't understand what was going on. I couldn't wrap my brain around what was happening. I couldn't get the cards. I couldn't get the points.
I I will admit that a lot of that game was just the cards. Like I am pretty good when it comes to my strategies, but I got the cards. So it was like our first game. I totally killed the king of cribbage.
Yeah,
But
it changes the world's 3rd best cribbage player up there on my thing now. Rich and Rich, you guys ever play cribbage? You want to join the club?
I've only heard of it. I don't know how to play. More importantly, I'd like to know where you rank in handsomeness in cribbage players.
Oh, top 3.
Okay, good.
Top 3.
yeah,
Rich, you would like you would like cribbage because it's like tons of pegging in cribbage.
Oh.
Was that for me or for him?
For Rich Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also
I didn't
known as
think it was
Filthy
for me.
Rich, so you know.
I got Keith some custom pegs for for his
Did.
The standard ones just weren't cutting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the standard ones are too big.
it is really hard to buy this man a birthday present because it's like, what do you get that is just, it has to be something odd. You know what I mean? Just like something off the wall that isn't going to be something that everybody else thinks of getting him. And so I think I did good this year too. But I think the pegs were a pretty good one last year. I don't know.
That blew my mind. Like that, I never even considered that you could make custom cribbage pegs, and then to be presented those was such a nice gesture and such a nice surprise.
It was much better than the banana tiki glass, I think. That one was a little like, I was on a tiki theme that year. So you guys are like, what the fuck are you doing? Every con I go to, I feel the need to give people things. And Keith is always at Terrificon, so I'm just like, I gotta get him something. I gotta buy things. This is why you guys have to go to Terrificon, because I'll buy you things if you show up, and I'll keep you full of Coke Zero or water or whatever it is that you prefer to drink. I'll bring you a banana. You know,
Where is Terrificon held?
that is at the Mohegan Sun in Norwich, Connecticut.
Oh, all right.
Good for
Well,
Keith's
that's
house.
your stomping ground, Keith, though.
Yeah, I grew up it's in Uncasville, which is my hometown. That's where I grew up, and then moved out of there after high school. But I only live like 30, 35 minutes away, so it's nice to have an excuse to go back down there.
Nice.
A lot of my friends from childhood will will pop up at the casino for that convention, and people come say hi.
Yeah, not for the con, just for the gambling.
Yeah, for the gambling and
Isn't that like the biggest casino or something like that?
no,
Or
there's
was?
about 20 minutes away called Foxwoods, which is larger than Mohegan Sun.
Oh, okay.
But they're both world class, like Vegas worthy casinos.
And the food. I've never actually seen the casino floor, but I've gone down and we always get Pepe's when we're
Yeah,
there.
you have to get Pepe's when you're there.
Yeah. Although, did you see, oh God, I'm going to forget his name now. The most Brooklyn man Jimmy Palmiotti. Jimmy Palmiotti was at Terrificon last year, and like in a couple of panels, he brought up because somewhere there was some advertisement saying like Connecticut has the best pizza, and he was not having that. He was absolutely like, you do not tell Jimmy Palmiotti that his hometown does not have the best pizza in the world, and he just kept going off about it. Like, no, 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 fuck the pizza. And it's like, but okay, we get the ears might be the best, but Pepe's is pretty goddamn good.
Well, yeah, I mean that's been a point of contention because Connecticut they do claim the past few years that we're the pizza capital of America because brick oven pizza was invented in New Haven. So there's a couple of OG places like Pepe's. There's a place called Sally's, which have been around for decades and which more or less like invented that form of pizza and do it better than anyone else. Is it better than New York style pizza or a Chicago deep dish? To each their own. I don't judge, but I'll take Pepe's or Sally's over pretty much anything else.
Yeah, I'm not too big on the squishy slice. I like, no offense to the New York style, and I do appreciate a good Chicago deep dish like once a decade, but you don't need the it. I worked in pizza for a long time, and it's hard to get things cooked right when you get to a certain depth. That's why.
Yeah, deep dish. It's got to cook low and slow for to get everything there. Richie, you lived in New York. I mean, you still live in New York, but you lived in the city for a while. Like, what do you think of New York pizza?
So let's see. I'm a big fan of. There's a chain called Two Boots that maybe I hold some allegiance to because they're a client and I do murals for them. But they have some amazing pies. And they've got one called the Bayou Beast, which maybe we can incorporate into Punch. And it's got like shrimp and sausage and all kinds of Louisiana flavor to it. And it's a great pie. So I've definitely, I like that. There's another place, Williamsburg Pizza, which is another client that also has some like just amazing pies. So,
but do you think that the New York style pizza is the best pizza?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I like Chicago style as well, but I think New York style is pretty right there for me.
You don't find it to be too greasy? I always find New York pizza, you got to really blot it because it's like.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's weird. I grew up in Massachusetts, so we had like Pizzeria Uno, and that's like soggy and no good.
Oh, really? It's not
Yeah.
the same one as Chicago?
It just I found that it was inconsistent, but like it got kind of wet. So I like I gotta say I like those New York pies. That's where I'm at.
Rich Stahnke, is there such a thing as a Charlotte pizza?
No, all Charlotte pizza sucks. But there's this great one called Red Baron. I don't know if you guys have had that. You can find
That's
it
the
usually at
frozen
your
stuff.
grocery store. Yeah. Maybe
If the best you're getting is
DiGiorno.
Red Baron,
Yeah.
you got to get up to Terrificon and come to Pepe's with me.
No. I went to New York City and I did enjoy their pizza, so I'll support the vote that New York City pizza may be better than Connecticut's.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Connecticut. I don't know. I Nebraska, like the only one that isn't a national chain that's really close here is Valentino's, and I worked there for a few years. My mom and I worked at the same location at one point. Like when she was in college, she was working her way up into her degree, and she worked at this location. And when I went and started working, I went to the original location for training, for management, and the people, like the old ladies, the aunts. It's owned by the Messinios, and their aunts. No, it's not owned by the Messinios. That's a different company. Anyway, um, no, it is Messinios. It doesn't make a difference. But the ladies who were still like they're buttering rolls in the morning were like the 90-year-old great aunts who knew my mother when she worked there as a young girl, and were just like, "Oh, you Miss daughter. Oh yeah, we loved her. How's she doing? You know?" And checked up on her and stuff. And it was just this big family thing. But they put a lot of sugar in everything.
Mm.
And so, like, we'd go there, and at the main store, you make the dough, you make the sauce, and then it gets sent out to all the other stores over the course of the day that are in town. But, like, driving onto the lot, you can smell sugar, which is a weird thing to smell. It's not like cinnamon sugar or other things. You can just smell sweet, and it's a very strange thing to put on a pizza to me. But I don't put Nebraska pizza in the running because you got to
Yeah,
have the
Nebraska, they're not known for their pizza.
No, we're known for really obscure shit like chili and cinnamon rolls and runses. But and we're told so this is a show about a Kickstarter, but we're talking about who has the best pizza because you got to know who you're supporting in this Kickstarter, and now you know their views on pizza, and that could be an important thing for people. What are your favorite toppings? As long as we're doing this, let's finish it around real quick. Are you
Well,
like just a straight up, or are you like into the weird stuff? Do you like put a bunch of shit on, or
Well,
what do
we
you
know
do?
Miller likes shrimp and sausage on his.
Yeah.
yep. I
Okay.
also like the occasional duck egg. And on that note, I sorry, I have a hard out because I've got 14 ducks that I got to put to bed before it gets completely dark out.
Oh,
Um, so I have to keep them safe from the predators so I can keep those duck eggs flowing. Um, but it was a real pleasure to get to talk to you, Kari, and to finally meet you, Rich.
Nice
Um,
to meet you too.
Keith, any chance I get to talk to you is like a dream come true.
I mean, he's
But
just also a handsome man in comics.
yes, well, there we go, and cribbage. So
Third, third and cricket.
very exciting. Well, listen, it was a real pleasure, guys. I
That was
apologize that I
wonderful.
have to run, but thank you so much for having me on.
Rich, thank you for doing this, buddy.
Thanks,
Oh, my
man.
pleasure.
Nice meeting you.
I'll talk to
Yeah,
you
great
soon.
to meet you guys. All right,
Run
have a
away
good one.
screaming from the ducks for me.
Okay, sure. Have a good night, guys.
Night.
You too.
So, I was not
All
expecting
right.
ducks to come into the conversation all of a sudden, but
Yeah, I
here
know
we are.
he has a whole flock of ducks. And it's kind of amazing like how attached they are to Rich.
Did they like
I
imprint on
think
him?
I think of ducks as just dumb birds, but they really have personality, and they really are like his little babies.
Wow.
Okay, okay, so you know Tyler Crook, right? Yes,
Should
sir.
I?
Illustrator for Harrow County, also did Lonesome Hunters. He just recently was the artist for Out of Alcatraz. He's a wonderful artist. Does a lot of watercolor stuff and gouache. Uh, anyway, he does this show and it's great. And he and his significant other have chickens, and so I'm on their Discord and they are constantly. And she like, sorry, they sing a chicken song, which is absolutely wonderful, and it's a lullaby to the chickens to go to bed at night. And so they go out and there's the chicken song that occurs.
Does
So
it
there must be
work?
something
Put
about
them to sleep?
yeah. Apparently, they'll sing it for a couple of rounds, and then the chickens all go to sleep, and then they come back in and hang out with Tyler more. So If you don't, I will introduce you because I think you guys get along. They're very uh, Tyler is very nice, as is his partner Mott. But while we're here still, I should we should go over. You wanted to talk about Jerry Ordway for a little bit, although we haven't finished with pizza toppings. So let's finish that real quick. Keith, what's your pizza?
I'm pretty happy with just a cheese pizza. I mean, I'll do veggies sometimes. Sometimes I'll do like a buffalo chicken pizza, Pepe's. It's called Chicken Diablo. But just a plain cheese pizza with a little maybe oregano or crushed red pepper seed sprinkled on. Hard to beat for me. I'm a simple man. How about you,
And you,
Rick?
Rick?
I mean, I'm pretty simple. I'm not into throwing tons of stuff on the pizza. If it's got pepperoni on it, I'm fine. Meat lovers, I'm fine. Yeah, you start throwing peppers, onions, and anchovies and all that stuff on there, I'm out. I don't eat all that.
Yeah,
I do like a good buffalo chicken though.
my oldest son likes the anchovies once in a while. And they smell so bad. Like the waitress will go to the table with a pizza with anchovies. And it makes me want to leave. Like they're just disgusting. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
That's I order, and here I like I'll do a plain mushroom or sausage and mushroom are the easiest ones for me. But when I get there's a certain place in town that does it right, and it's been nicknamed pregnancy pizza. But it's Italian sausage, breakfast bacon, banana peppers, pineapple, and cream cheese.
That's a weird one right there.
It's a weird one, but it oddly there's enough salty to the sweet, and then the bit of cream that runs through it, and then just it's minor heat, but you put the red pepper flakes on it too, like you do. But that's my pizza if I'm not doing something very simple, and I only order that one like once every couple of years these days because it's not worth it. It's like, oh, that's like a $30 small pizza if you're gonna do that these days.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna hop over now after you're just like, where did this show go? Why are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely of the opinion that pineapple has no place on a pizza.
Oh,
You're just being elitist at that point.
I kind of am, but
Yeah.
I mean that's how I feel, and I'm going to stick to it.
that's fair. I respect that opinion.
You just put whatever you
embrace
want on a pizza. Anything can go on a pizza. If you want it on the pizza, put it on the pizza.
Except for interesting.
Okay, Rich. The pizza police over there.
Hi, Dylan. We've already covered Punch, Dylan, but we're gonna hop over
We can talk
here real
about it
quick.
again. Let's just start at the beginning for Dylan.
We'll circle back.
Dylan is awesome. Dylan is a great guy. Love hanging out with him. He usually shows up for things. Dylan, we covered Punch, which is and what does it all stand for now?
It's pubescent,
Pubescent.
undercover, neuro-diverse cryptid hunters.
Yes.
It's our love letter to the 80s animal comics.
It's a great series. It has all of these neurodivergent critters that are named after food that come. They're chasing after Bigfoot and trying to find him and hunting down other cryptids that are out there. The show note, if you want to check it out, up above, down below, there's links for the Kickstarters and for everybody. You missed Rich Miller. He's had to take off to take care of his ducks, and I was just telling them about how Tyler and Mott have chickens. Dylan's part of the Tyler Crowd. He has like a Friday night show that he does, and we all go hang out there. But now we're gonna check out real quick the Jerry Ordway Double Feature. So I'm gonna let you narrate most of this as well because it's already double funded. It's going really good. Go ahead and let me know what we have going on here because I am a fan of Jerry Ordway, but I am not like an expert upon Jerry Ordway.
Well, I mean, look how good that drawing is right there of the cover, right? Like, who draws like Jerry? So, if anyone deserves a sketchbook edition in this industry, I feel like Jerry is one of the guys that really should have one, just because I want to buy it. I want to read it. I want to have it on my shelf. Luckily, Jerry also lives in Connecticut, and we've known each other, casually for a long time. And it took a little doing to convince him. He wasn't the most responsive to the idea at first. But being the 12th month handsome man in comics, I managed to charm him. I managed to reel him in. And so we set up, this 100-page sketchbook for Jerry. It's full color, some of it black and white, some of it color. But it covers his whole, career from, he's got a lot of stuff behind the scenes he did for the Batman movie adaptation in '89. A lot of Superman stuff, all of the great stuff that he's known for. You get sort of behind the scenes look at what he's produced. And then the double feature part is his book Proton, which Jerry has just been doing his entire life. Like, this is his first character, Proton. When he was a kid, he created Proton. And he self-published a few issues of Proton before he broke in at DC, in the late 70s, early 80s. And then Hal has come back to it, and he produces these chapters of Proton, and he self-publishes them, and he sells them at conventions. So we're collecting it, what he has, into a special edition to go along with the sketchbooks. So it's a campaign for the real fans of Ordway, basically. But I love the Proton thing. I love the fact that this is his character. This is something that he's carried with him pretty much his entire life. It was similar to the Rick Leonardi campaign with his Blue Angel project that he's worked on as a labor of love for like 2 decades. Jerry's been working on Proton for 4 decades. Like, you can't fake that kind of love for comics or that kind of love for a character or that creative drive when you really feel strongly about something. And I'm so happy that we can put this out.
I was going to ask, how is it that you've got a couple of these? Because you're doing a lot of your all of your creator-owned series, and then you're getting a couple of, like, Rick Leonardi and Jerry Ordway now, and bringing them on. Is it it's put out by New Pain, but it's originally their work and stuff. How did this happen? With, like, are you the one who's officially putting out Proton now, or is it the specific edition of it?
Oh, it's Jerry's baby. And I'm putting out a special edition through New Pain, but he owns it. It's his character, his copyright, his trademarks. But he's allowing us to put a special edition together to go along with his sketchbook. And I like to do that whenever I can, because, as we were saying earlier, you can only do so many campaigns on Kickstarter per year. So if I can double up a campaign and offer 2 products in one campaign that are linked to one creator, or, somewhat complement each other, then, it's a win-win for everybody, I think.
Oh yeah, and you're doing remarked editions, signed editions, sketch editions. I'm wondering, okay, got the expanded digital. I want to hop over here real quick to see.
I think we just got a cancellation because it went from over 15,000. Now it's 14,900. I must have scared somebody off when I was talking.
They're like, no, not that guy. I don't want to be with that guy.
Let me check my email and see who canceled. I bet you it was Rich Stahnke.
I had to go buy pizza. Y'all threw a craving on me. I had to order some pizza.
So I'll look through a little bit more. You get the jigsaw puzzle, and that's something I have a question on, because I have seen jigsaw puzzles up as an add-on in a couple of your projects and in a couple of other people's projects. But how is the conversion? Because it doesn't occur to me to do puzzles because I have no flat space that isn't covered with boxes. Um, so I can't actually do them. But what is the collector community like when it comes to doing puzzles? Is it something that you get a lot of orders for?
No. I do them. I offer them mainly because I have the capacity to have them printed.
Okay.
And I think they're cool. But and it also gives us an extra add-on and that maybe someone might come across and think, oh, that's kind of cool. I could spend a few hours doing this puzzle on a Friday night. But they're not the most popular items. I like them personally better than T-shirts. Because anything that's kind of interactive and you can kind of distract your mind from the problems of the world and fall into a puzzle, I think is a good thing. But they're not the most popular rewards. But it doesn't cost us anything up front to offer them because they're printed on demand, and
Okay.
they're not that hard. They're not that hard to design, so it's not a huge expenditure of time to design the puzzle. So usually we'll do a few every campaign. Someone will pick up a few backers will pick them up, and
Okay.
and it helps hit the goal. And I think they're cool. I sometimes will print some up to sell at conventions. I'll have some created, and then but they never really are sold at conventions either. People are like, "What the fuck is that?" But
Well, and
teach their own.
I guess too with puzzles, a lot of people, the people that are really into puzzles do the thing where they get them done and then they frame them and stuff to
Yeah,
show them.
you spray fix them and you frame them.
So that's pretty cool. And we have some limited signed copies of The Power of Shazam, #1, which is pretty cool. Are some I have to like look over. Are these left? Um,
Yeah, I think that the remarks are gone. I know his commissions are gone. The signed Shazam #1s are gone. The signed Power of the Atom, which is a book that Jerry and I did together, I wrote and he drew. Those are sold out. But
okay.
there's going to be more stuff added. There'll be more Ordway comics coming up that are added that Jerry will sign. Things like, we're not done yet. We've got a long way to go on this one. So if people are, and I did get an email earlier today, like, oh, I wanted to get a remark. I wanted to get a signed comic. And they're sold out. Like, that's not fair. Like, people can just chill because we're going to introduce more stuff as we go.
That is the thing I've learned with you. You always have to keep track of Keith's campaigns because you'll put in your thing. Here's my pledge, here's my reward tier, here's my whatever it is called on that site. And then all of a sudden you go through and it's like, oh, there's something new. I need to change my campaign pledge because I need to have that or I need to get this. So it's it's always an adventure following one of your campaigns
Well,
because I get
good.
new
I
stuff
hope, I
and I
hope it
love
feels
that.
that way. I hope it feels like an adventure and it's not just like, I want people I try to maintain the excitement for people of the campaign because people could pledge on day one and then they have to wait 27 days for the campaign to end. And then it's 2 weeks to get the surveys. And then it's, 2 weeks for people to fill out the surveys, so it's a process and time can kill enthusiasm. So I think it's important to try to inject new energy into these things and keep people, what's the word I'm looking for? Keep people engaged in
Yes.
the project and in the process. I learned that from Rich Stahnke.
Yeah, I taught him that, and he's really taking it to heart. Keith's campaigns almost always the product is, if not 100% done, 95% done before he runs the campaigns. So if you back it, you're not going to wait 6 months for us to finish making the book. It's ready to go when he offers it up usually. So you're not going to sit around. Some people run campaigns to fund them working on it for the next months or a year down the road before you get your product. If you order one of Keith's products, you're probably going to get it within 6 weeks or so of the campaign ending.
Yeah, I mean, we've only had one situation where there was a long delay, and hopefully that doesn't repeat itself. Because that drives me crazy when I can't stay on schedule. I think that staying on schedule, fulfilling when you say you're going to fulfill, it's an act of building trust with your backers. Like, I want the backers to know your money is safe with us. You're going to get the books. We've made mistakes along the way, for sure. Especially like the very first Switch Electricia project that we kickstarted like 10 years ago. We had no idea what we were doing. We screwed everything up. But you learn from it, and I've learned that to me, this is the way to run the direct-to-consumer business, is to make sure that they trust that we're going to get them their books in a timely fashion. And hopefully the more that they trust us, the more that they're inspired, or they continue to back our campaigns. And we've reached a nice place now, I think, knock on wood, where, I mean, we haven't had a campaign fail yet, but I do see the same faithful people, backing every project, which tells me we're doing the job. We're doing exactly what I just said, that we've built trust with these people. They like our books. They know that we're not going to steal their money. They know they're going to get the product. And I get a lot of New Pain books when I do conventions now that come to my table too, which is nice.
Yeah.
When people bring these things to the tables, and then I get to talk to them about the books and see what they like, what they don't like. It's really very cool to get more New Pain books and more DC books and more Stranger Things comics or what have you is great.
I have to admit, I'm a fan of yours, but I haven't read a single Stranger Things comic because I'm just not a Stranger Things person, I guess.
Okay, not everyone is. It's okay. Jody has written a lot of good Stranger Things comics. I'm happy with the one that I wrote too, but you're not missing much. If you don't like the show, you don't like the comic.
I never had time for it. It's one that I might, eventually go and check out, but for now I've got like so many other things that I'm into, including these that you have that are like right now that I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna go for that. I love pushing New Pain Pro when I do stuff because you guys are so fun, and I also love how it's like your company, but you and Tom are listed as the plucky mascots.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've said this before on podcasts. Tom is my best friend in the industry, and one of my best friends in life. We do nothing. I mean, he drives me crazy sometimes. He can be very slow as an artist, and that can cause some stress. But aside from that, we do nothing but laugh together, have fun together. He's got a great sense of humor. I don't know. I just love the guy. So, when I started the company with him, it was really just a chance to hang out with my buddy, have something to do together.
Well, and he lives in your second studio, basically, or his second studio is in your house, basically.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a couch right next to me to my right, which is the left on the screen. It's a fold out. This is where Tom sleeps when he's here in Connecticut, which is not often enough. I wish I could move him out here somehow and just have him be our neighbor. My kids love Tom too, so that's a big thing. They love when Tom's around.
I love that. It's great that you two have the relationship that you do, and I'm going to do a comparison. We just had Phil Hester and Andy Parks on Tuesday, and those two are it's kismet. When they met, everything they do is just, they were always on the same wavelength all the time. And you and Tom are the same. And Rich, you get to be included in this now. You're like part of this, like,
Yeah, I
conglomeration
feel
of, right?
blessed. It's a little fraternity I'm happy to be a part of. Keith is responsible for my first paying pro work that was widely distributed a few years ago, and that led to him constantly feeding me other things to do for New Pain. I've colored almost everything New Pain has put out in the last 4 years almost, I guess. And then of course we've co-created Punch together. And I got to host Keith and Tom at my home last year for Heroes Con. And, I like Keith said, Tom's fun to hang out with and be around, and Keith is as well. And I'm pretty pleased with the company I keep in the business right now.
Do you like us better than Andy Smith? Be honest.
Oh yeah, Andy Smith, he's the worst. Yeah,
thank you.
I'll take you and Tom over Andy any day.
No, I mean, Rich fits right in with us. Believe me, he's same sense of humor, same wavelength, same immature bullshit. Yeah. And he was a cop. Like, he should be better than this.
I should be, but I'm not. Just not.
I love reading your scripts, I have to say. I love the way that you address people with things because it just cracks me the fuck up. Uh, I read a lot of scripts, and some people are so stickler about everything, and you know everybody that you work with. So you're able to just kind of throw out whatever and make little jokes in the inside. And these other people who are full scripting and writing every little thing and thumbnailing and micromanaging every single aspect of something, it's just like, have some fun. Let your artist art, as Jar Jar would say. We he couldn't remember the word for draw once. It was like, what do you do when you aren't arting?
Yeah, Keith's scripts are at least the ones he sends me to work on are kind of fluid, and they dial. I think you put it on every one of your lead pages, Keith, that it says dialogue is not final, and it changes right up into almost to print time. His script contents and what people say, and I'll read through in one version of the script or a PDF or a copy editing, and then the next time I get it, dialogue's changed again. It's very fluid, but that's good because he's always refining it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's become a big part of my process. And, when I started lettering my own work, I didn't have to feel guilty about giving a letterer, another letterer, tons and tons of changes to do. Because now I just handle it myself, and it lets me think deeper into the dialogue or think deeper into the scene and come up with different lines or, stuff that feels more, just better all around. It's interesting because in the Substack I published the other day, I linked to a script for that Adam issue that I wrote for Jerry Ordway like years ago. And I skimmed through that script to kind of see what it was all about. I haven't read it in, almost 20 years. And it was exactly what you just said, Kari. It was like, micromanaging. It was not a fun, there's no sense of fun in the script. It was overwritten. And I feel like if I can make the script fun to read, I've come to feel like if I can make the script fun to read, it's more fun for the artist to draw. If I can make my artist crack a smile when he reads a panel description or something like that, and just have fun with the experience of the script, it starts the job on a positive note. It's not just a dry, boring page, but maybe it sparks some creativity in somebody, or that little bit of humor sparks a creative thought that, I don't know, wouldn't have been there otherwise. Or maybe I think too much about this stuff. But I think I have found a balance between the micromanaging aspect but also being more open and letting artists take the script and interpret it any way they want to.
I don't think you're thinking it too hard because from somebody who I have some stories that I want to turn into comics, and actually one of my publishers is looking at turning something that we're working on into a graphic novel, so it could turn out to be a very cool thing for me. Um, it's nice to know it, and that's why I buy all the scripting people can do. But I like your scripts because you know the artist, you have something going on, and you can visualize it as your Joker year one. I don't know why they didn't go with that. That was amazing. It was Joker year one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, you kind of just sitting there. I'm like, did I say the wrong script? but but that was great, and I I I'm learning how to do. There's a difference between the way that you script and a huge difference when you go over to Alan Moore scripting, which is just like, oh boy, this is going to be, I'm going to read a 10,000 page novel, in order
Yeah.
to figure out how to draw this. And
I love Alan Moore. He's my favorite writer of all time. Like, who doesn't love Alan Moore? I can't get through 2 pages of a script. Like, my eyes just gloss over after the second page of describing one certain brick on a wall in the background. I just can't do it. I don't know how his artists can wade through all that stuff and kind of separate the chaff from the wheat.
yeah, I mean, just reading like From Hell, you go through and it just as reading what the comic gives you. There's like 10-page essays attached to each issue of it. which is fascinating. I love Jack the Ripper. Well, that sounds horrible, but you know what I mean. The mythology. He wasn't a great guy, but he's interesting.
He's a hell of a
Um,
cook.
but reading that, I was just like, wow, this is a lot to get through. If he got paid by the word, he would be a billionaire. I would hate to be his letterer because there is so much that it's involved in it. But yeah, you don't write dry. You write something like I can see myself. I would have to be a little bit more structured than you because if I work with somebody, I'm not going to know the artist as well as you know the people that you work with. But you're one of the people that inspires me to like, okay, this is how I'm going to write something. I read more key scripts. I'm going to know better how to like lay out everything that I want, how to explain it. I got a little tablet so I can kind of thumbnail even though I'm not talented at all in the artistic areas, but
That's
I can at
smart.
least
That's a
I
smart
can
thing to do, though. I thumbnail every page as I write it, just to make sure that you know what I'm seeing in my mind is kind of described accurately on this in the script. Even though they're super loose, but I always make sure that I break down every script visually as I go.
So is that included in some of the digital extras as well when
No,
you
I
on
mean,
the puck stuff?
let me see if I can find a page in my layouts, and you'll see why they're not included.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's so bare bones. It's just for me. Like there's a 4 pages of layouts as I'm going through a script. You probably can't even tell what's in there. But just
Okay.
basic panel shapes, a couple of words, or a quick, stick figure or something, just to remind me of what's happening there. And I write 5 panels to a page usually, which I feel is a good balance, gives the artist room to flex, but also to add character moments and things. So I always make sure it fits in that 5 panel structure that I use.
Okay. And what do you get out of everything, Rich, when you're reading things and going through stuff? Do you, as far as like how this is the way it's going to be colored? Does does anyone get with you, or is it just like you got this?
No, when it comes to doing the color work on the new painting books, Keith has been very hands off. If you've read the scripts, there's not a whole lot of direction in there necessarily about, a color scheme or lighting or anything. You get your basic, it's day, it's night sort of thing. So, I mean, for me, I've been blessed that Keith has not given me a whole lot of notes. Every once in a while, there's a note about, change of background or something. Keith has a real dislike for the color green, apparently. So if I do green as a background in a panel, I'm going to get told to change it. But beyond that, he's been great to work with. It's been very loose control and free reign to do what I wanted to do with it. So I can't complain at all about that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you like green, Keith? Come on.
Yeah,
I just don't think that green it works well in comic books. I think green's kind of a flat color. I mean, obviously, like the Hulk is green. Green Lantern is going to have green energy things and stuff like that. Like, you can't escape the color completely. But to my aesthetic, it just doesn't look good on the page. And it's a personal thing.
He hates
Fair.
it. He hates it with a passion.
But, I mean, there have been times when, Rich has colored like a freeze ray green. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Freeze ray can't be green.
Why is that horse green? Horses aren't green.
I was going to say something too about, oh, Rich, if I could pay you better, I probably would be more micromanaging on the color.
Yeah, you could be more demanding because your money would be.
Yeah, but for the rates I can pay, I have no right to like bust anyone's balls, really.
Yeah. But for Jersey Mike's coupons, you can't be too picky.
So, guys, if you want to grab a colorist real quick, just offer Rich a little bit more. Than,
I can be hired away.
Yeah, I know. Just a couple more bucks a page, and Rich is all yours.
Yeah, Mike Katz. He might lure me away.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Mike.
All right. So we've covered everything, and then I started you talking a little bit, and I need to get you on a show pretty soon. So I can't talk about everything before we get you on the show because then we're not going to have more things to talk about on the show. Um, Before we sign off tonight, we've got the 2 Kickstarters going. Everything's looking good. Well, 1 Kickstarter, 1 backer kit.
Hmm.
You guys can check the show notes up above or down below. And where do you want people to reach out to you each at, as far as just getting in contact with you?
1 second, guys. Yeah.
Sorry.
What do you
Well,
about?
he's handling family business. If somebody wants to just follow me on Instagram, that's fantastic. It's just at Rich Stahnke. That's you can find me there. You can message me there. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the pretentious Keith Champagne on Instagram. And we also have the New Pain Productions Instagram page. So if someone sends a message to either one of those, it's a good starting point to branch out to the rest of our internet presence.
Okay. And I know you're going to Terrificon. Any cons that you guys have coming up besides that one, where people can find you?
I've got a 1-day show. I'm in North Carolina in the Charlotte area. There's a Charlotte Comic Con coming up in August. I just don't know what the date is off the top of my head, but I'll be there. I think it's the first week of August.
Okay. Keith, anything major coming up?
I mean, I'm going to do QBCon in July, which is a 1-day show in New Jersey for the Kubert School. I think the guests are just Kubert School alumni. So I volunteered to come out on my dime for that one because I love to support the school. And then Terrificon, and then Baltimore. I'm sure I didn't book a lot of conventions this year. And I'm happy to not be doing a lot of conventions this year. But there might be, I'm sure I'll get out to Minnesota at some point. I'm usually in Minnesota at least once a year.
Okay.
But aside from that, yeah, I'm happy to be on my couch when I'm not working.
All right. Well, I love you too, Dylan, and thank you for showing up. We had fun, and thanks, guys. If you can hold on for just a minute after I close things out.
Absolutely.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
thank you for coming and joining us for another Kari's Crowdfunding Corner Creator Spotlight. I hope you had as much fun as I did because I like just getting to know all these people and letting you know why you should follow them because they're amazing individuals with great minds, excellent taste in pizza, and great comics that they put out. So have a good night, everybody, and
Thank
like and subscribe. Be good.
Night.